In this video, I'm going to discuss with you whether you should be spending your marketing budget on Google Local Service Ads or Angi, which is formerly known as Angie's List. By the end of this video, you're going to know the key differences between those two options and what's best for your business. One of these methods I'm about to show you resulted in my roofing client getting 4 new jobs in their first 60 days, which generated about $25,000 in revenue. And that method that I mentioned that my roofing client used, I do for quite a few clients as of now. So if you'd rather skip the trial and error of how to do this yourself or hire an inexperienced company, click the link below in the description of this video, and then my team and I will walk you through step by step. So first I want to talk to you about Angie's List, or it's called Angi now, but I'm going to always call it Angie's List. You'll probably hear me refer to it as both throughout this video. Now Angi, or Angie's List, has been around since 1995, just for my little bit of research. I'm sure if you've heard of it before, or if you haven't, I'm sure you have, but just forgot because of the name change. But it's been around for a while. It's basically a all-in-one platform to go either as a contracting service or as a consumer or potential customer to basically find a company to help you, or if you are a contractor, to help find more customers. And I'm about to show you as a customer what it looks like to actually request more information through Angi. Let's take a look. All right, so this is me. I went ahead and created actually an Angi profile here for free, and so I just typed in roofing. I'm going to say I need help with roofing, and then it's going to say another location of your project, what you need done. I said install or repair roof, what type of project. Let's just say completely replace the roof. What roofing material do you want? I'm going to just go ahead and say tile. Click next. I'm just going to say that I have a 2-story house. I'm not going to say, so here is where I think they probably, Angi can determine how much they can sell my information for. If I say urgent, I bet I'm going to be sold to quite a few companies, and it's going to say urgent, and that'll basically make the lead sound better. So let's just leave it at that and see what happens next. I'm just going to say, I need a new roof. I have a leak. Next. Okay, it's going to verify my address here. It's going to say we have matching pros in your area. I don't want to be texted by them. I'm going to say view matching pros. Okay, so I guess I have to click here, texting project cost guides, how-to articles, etc. Because I've clicked view matching pros several times and just nothing has gone through. So this is basically what it looks like from the customer side. And so what Angi is going to do is they're going to go and sell my information to multiple companies that are paying for their subscription service, because that's what you do as an Angi's provider or contractor, is you basically get on a subscription option with them, and then you can pay for a lead. So this is scenario, if you have a dedicated person and or call center to call and follow up accordingly, can work well. Most contractor companies I see are like solopreneurs, or there's like only 2 to 3 people. So a lot of times they just don't have the option to call a lead. And again, if you don't and you call this lead in an hour, I've already been called like 10 times by other people. I just at that point have changed my mind. I almost just want to like not even utilize the service anymore because I've been called so many times. So that's my biggest issue with Angi or Angie's List, is that one, the leads are shared, they're not exclusive, which is tough because a lot of companies, you're trying to also work, but now you also have to do the sales as well. And in my experience, a lot of contractors, they're good at sales, but they're not good at following up to get the sale. So if someone isn't like, if I'm not sitting here being like, it's raining, I need a roof repair right this second, and there's not a ton of urgency, they have to work the lead, and just the follow-up systems are just not in place for a lot. And as you saw on the Angie's List script, so the second thing is that a lot of times the customers are low intent. So as you saw, there was an option for me to say I needed a roof job ASAP in 2 weeks, and I forget the other 2 options, but it's basically like far out. So, those are lower intent leads that you're still having to pay for. So with all those things being said, that's my experience with Angi, and that's what I've heard from contractors that I've worked with in the past. Now let's go ahead and talk about Google Local Service Ads. So to show you Google Local Service Ads, because I'm a visual person, I like to just kind of share and then describe. So this is what it is. So I went ahead and typed roofer near me. And so as you can see, you are at the very top of Google. As you scroll down here, this is more like Google pay-per-click right here, where you are paying for clicks. And this gets more into like Google Maps, Google ranking, and SEO type stuff down here. But as you can see, the very, very top option is Google Local Service Ads right here. So that's one of the best pros about Google Local Service Ads, is that you show up at the very top of Google, and all the other Google advertising options are lower than what you are. And so as you can see, if you click show more, you'll even see more options here. So pro number one, you show up at the very top of Google above all other advertising options. Number two, you only pay per lead. So similar to Angie's List, you're paying for a lead. However, this lead is exclusive. So this platinum roofing and retrofit, what I can do is if I click right here for get phone number, or it's basically a click to call option or message, it is exclusive to that person. Now, me being someone who likes to shop around services, could I go call Platinum Roofing and then also go and call Vision Roof Services? Yes. But it's not me filling out a form and then it goes out to multiple companies all at the same time. If I click here and I call Platinum Roofing and talk to them, I'm exclusively calling them. So as opposed to Angi, where you are paying for what is most likely a shared lead, you are paying for an exclusive phone call or message here. I prefer to stick with phone calls as well, because if someone is going to call you, the intent is there. Whereas someone who fills out a form, you know, they may change their mind within an hour. Like, people just change their minds like within, you know, seconds sometimes. It's kind of crazy. The third benefit to Google local service ads that I like is you see right here, you have this Google guaranteed badge of trust. So it is an application process to go through, and it can take sometimes a few weeks potentially, but you have that badge from Google. So like if Google vouches for you, like that's a huge badge of honor to wear. So I like to always highlight that, because I think that really speaks volumes that Google has verified and validated my business and is now showing me to customers. And then another thing I always like to highlight with Google local service ads is, say I call this Platinum Roofing, but I talk to them and I want like an air conditioner. You as the business can actually dispute that lead, because it's a service that is not related to the industry you serve, and get refunded. So I do not have as much experience with Angi because I choose to use, you know, the marketing options I feel are the best. So I'm not sure if you can do that with Angi or not, but I know for a fact you can with Google local service ads. There's a review process, and it's basically like a click. You put in a sentence or two. So in this case, you can say, you know, the lead John Smith called me and they asked for air conditioning, and I am a roofing company. That is not something I provide. That is not one of the products or services I offer. And you refund it, which is freaking amazing, because you're paying like for every quality lead, and just the intent is there, which is great. All right, now the only con really with Google local service ads, and let me change tabs here, is sometimes the application process can take a little while. And when I say a little while, I've seen applications get approved in as soon as 2 days, and some take like a month or two. So how to get started is, I just always like to Google local service ads. You can click getting started with Google local service ads here. You'll click the local services pop up here, and it's going to open up a new window. You click sign in. And so what I'm going to do is just basically say new local services ad account. Continue. And then what you're going to do right here is you're going to put in the state, zip code, and job category for what the service you provide. So there's like a ton you can go in here for, everything from acupuncture all the way down to yoga and everything in between. Obviously lots of contracting services, towing, tire shop, tax prep, tattoos, real estate, preschool, pet training, pet grooming, dentists, chiropractors, etc. So there's a lot to choose from. And once you click check eligibility and you put in your state and zip code, it's going to let you know if Google local service ads is available in your area. For the most part, you'll see that it is. If not, you can always put in a different zip code you service and see that if that zip code is available, because you can actually target by like zip code and cities and stuff like that. So that's the one downfall to Google service ads, is the application process can take a little while. And if you're doing this yourself and have never done it before, it can take even longer. But if you use a company like mine or another marketing company that has experience with Google local service ads, there's little tips and tricks to help kind of expedite the application process. So if you haven't figured it out by now, yes, my roofing company did utilize Google local service ads to get 4 jobs in their first 60 days that resulted in quite a bit of revenue for them. So I would endorse Google local service ads because I just feel it's the best. And again, you pay per lead. You can dispute leads if they're not credible. And for me, I like to stick with the phone call option. So if someone is willing to call you on the phone, just the intent is a lot closer, is a lot better than someone who fills out a lead form and then is sure to, potentially 5 to 10 other companies. Now, as I mentioned before, I utilize Google local service ads for quite a few companies already. So if you'd like to get started with Google local service ads and skip the trial and error and get your application approved as soon as possible, click the link below in this description. My team and I will reach out to you and we'll help walk you through step by step of the Google Local Service Ads application and get people calling your phone wanting your service ASAP. Now that you've watched this video, I want you to go ahead and click on the video that's popping up on the screen right now to find out, are Google Local Service Ads worth it in 2025?